Ready for hot dogs. What's that even mean?
Radiation protection stabilizing.
What's up? Yeah, the guy goes, ready for hot dogs? What the fuck? What does that mean? So subliminal.
Extreme radiation detected. Extreme radiation detected. Extreme radiation detected. Extreme radiation detected.
See, this shit is why we need like a submarine. Jesus Christ. I think I should probably drive the fucking Nomad more. I could at least like hover over all that shit.
Extreme radiation detected.
So, anybody watching the video, basically, nothing new with Waking Titan has happened, to my knowledge. Does anybody know anything I don't? Last time I checked, Sean Murray tweeted something about the show Black Mirror, and I don't know if that was a clue or not, or just, you know, maybe he's a fan of the show. Can never tell with Sean Murray. Goddamn. Hidden, what do you think, man? Oh shit. You think the show Black Mirror's got the clues to solve this next puzzle, or what's the deal? People are racking their brains trying to figure out how to solve this next one.
Radiation protection stabilized.
Hidden says, well, I need to start watching the show, but beats me, bro. This ARG makes 0 sense. Yeah, dude, it's, you know, I feel like the first ARG, like, even though it took a long time, I feel like the puzzles may have been easier. What's up, Tyler? You seem to have your finger on the community button, dude. Have you heard anything new regarding Waking Titan? Dude, I've been scanning through the subreddit, looking at the CSD forums. I've gone to the Waking Titan website, tried several things myself. Tried looking into the show Black Mirror. I haven't seemed to have been able to solve anything, dude. Dave Langer says Sean Murray's tweet. Yeah, dude, the tweet was crazy as hell. Like, I feel like there's clues in it. You know what I mean? But then again, like, all of this, like, No Man's Sky, like, ARG shit, like, it's like everything is a clue. Everything's a clue, dude. He could just legitimately, like the show and just be, like, retweeting one of the writers, like, comments on the show. But, like, to me, it's like, it means everything. Like, it's hot news. There's some fucking clue. I don't know, man. Yeah, dude, it's gotta be a clue, right? I feel like it is. Like, how could it not be? Tyler says, I see nothing new. The good thing is, Sean's tweet about Black Mirror, I think that could be a hint. I agree. Yeah, I think it is a hint, man. Time to make some carite sheets. Torque21 says, looking forward to the new update. Pretty disappointed with the Star Citizen release, and I need me a space fix. Yeah, dude. No Man's Sky is all the fix you need, bro. It's easy to pick up and play for a few minutes and put away. I feel like anytime like you jump into like Star Citizen or Elite Dangerous, like you have to like buckle in and prepare yourself for like 4 hours. What's up, K5RTO? Torque 21, how many hours would you say you spent in the game? I've been playing for over a year. I've got like 300 hours, 300 something hours in there. But like, I've seen people with like 500-600 hours, dude. How much work have you put in? I can't imagine putting in over 500 hours. Like, that seems like a lot. Over 100 hours. I feel like I probably hit 100 hours like in the first 3 months probably. Because I go through these like periods, whenever there's like an ARG I don't play as much as usual. It's like too much stress, like the anticipation builds up too much. I want to stream No Man's Sky. Tonight's Wheels Wednesday though, so no Man's Sky. What's Wheels Wednesday? What are you playing, like Gran Turismo? Or something? I watch your streams from time to time. I want to play Ghost Recon Wildlands with you, man. Specifically TSS 958. Me and HiddenJewAgenda, we play Ghost Recon quite a bit, dude. So if you ever want to jump in on a session, I think that'd be really fun to stream.
Product constructed. Weapon charge created. Technology recharge.
Damn, you got 1 month worth of hours, K5RTO? Jesus. No, Hidden, there's no way you have 1 month worth of hours. Really? That sounds like that might be a lot of hours to me, but like I actually don't know. Oh shit, I didn't even notice. Dave Langer said, this is by far the longest we have gone without solving a glyph. Wonder if the right answer is gonna... Yes. Either we have to wait for the Atlas passes, or we're just dumb. But you know what we should do? It seems like the longer we go without solving the puzzle, the more Sean Murray talks. So we should just, like, never solve the puzzle, right? Like, is anybody on board with me on that? Like, we just don't solve it, and then he just keeps, like, yapping, like, actually communicates with us, like, talks to us, like... You know what I mean? Like, we just, like, coax him into, like, retweeting shit. Like, it's like, the only time he ever says anything is, like, during an ARG. Yeah, this game roped me good. Yeah, man. I liked it vanilla. What I'm going to be doing here pretty soon is, because I play on PlayStation 4, all of my saved file is in the PlayStation Cloud. So I'm going to do a final upload just to make sure my most current file is uploaded, and then I'm going to delete it off the disk drive on the PS4, and then I'm going to essentially delete all the updates and everything and put the disc in and play the vanilla version of No Man's Sky, like, and stream it, because I want to revisit that game without any of the updates. Like, I've almost forgotten what vanilla No Man's Sky was like. No, it's really any racing game. Need for Speed Payback is hot right now. Gonna get a new card, that's in the game tonight. That's what's up, TSS958. Can I just call you? I'm just gonna call you. Or is that lame? Is that lame? We'll just say TSS. But on a personal note, I like. Anybody seen Airplane 2? It's like the noise that William Shatner makes when he opens the doors on the moon base. He just walks up and just goes, and the doors open. Hopefully some of you guys get that reference. I love that goddamn movie. Do I have enough to craft this now? I wasn't paying attention. There we go. Can you go open it? Can you go open it, please? Not really, because I'm blocking like 90% of the frame. Is that what you guys were over there freaking out over? Oh, hell no. That's Mrs. Panda, by the way. Oh shit, I don't need this anymore. I'm gonna go talk to this guy. Ooh, Dave Langer's got the dual streams going. Dude, I used to like when Boondock streamed a lot more. I would have like Boondock and Iceman Third IDs like 2 streams up, like split screen on my computer, just like going hard on like No Man's Sky streams. So eventually I was like, I think I'm just gonna do this myself. Cause I'm cracking out on like No Man's Sky streams. Dude, Dave Langer, yeah, what if he just came out and was like, this is the answer? Because you guys are just hella dumb. I'd be like, I agree with that. Just never tell him we just wanted him to talk. Just don't solve any of the puzzles throughout the whole ARG. Vanilla is my flavor. What's that? K5, when's the last time you played Vanilla? Oh, good point, Dave Linger. Make sure the auto upload is off. Yeah. Hidden says, funny how the first code was Mirror and then tweets about Black Mirror. He doesn't just tweet about Black Mirror, he references a specific episode where people are stuck inside of a procedurally generated universe. I mean, it's like, that is a fucking clue if I've ever seen one. That is like an in-your-face clue. And none of us can figure it out. So basically what I'm doing, guys, is my base after 1.3, my original base got like messed up, so I had to delete it. And I've never just really rebuilt it, but I can't like proceed or do anything else in the game until I like knock out these like base mini missions again. And I also need to work on like gathering glyphs, so that's kind of what I'm doing as I sort of... I never like follow the storyline of any game I play. Like if it's a sandbox, I just like wander. I don't know. Hidden is pretty good. Like when he's streaming, like he's usually doing something. But me, I'm just kind of like a June bug. Did you play pre-patch Vanilla? K5, I did not. That was the day 1 patch, right? Like basically, if you got the game right when it came out, there was like a patch right away. Yeah, so I just took whatever updates were available at the time. Like I didn't even play the earliest version. That is such a great episode of Black Mirror 2. I agree. Like I watched it specifically because he tweeted that, and it was actually a really cool episode. So I was like, man, that's crazy. But he tweeted where the writer for the episode was apparently inspired by No Man's Sky. Like he plays the game. Like the writer for that episode, he did 2 episodes I think for Black Mirror, but the writer is a fan of No Man's Sky, like actively plays the game, and was inspired to like make the episode because of that, which is pretty badass. And he had nice things to say. He was like, how can people not be happy? You pay 50 quid, which, you know, if you don't know, is I guess British pounds, right, for a game that has infinite exploration, and people like get all pissed off about it, you know, because it's like not perfect or something. So, but yeah, he was, you know, very kind, which is cool. Billy2K5 says, Panda, what's up? What's going on, man? I'm good. How are you? Thanks for coming back by, dude. I think I responded to your comment earlier too on HiddenJewAgenda stream, so checking 2 out today. That's what's up, man. Appreciate it. K5 says, I popped the disc in a while back and played, cried, and felt dumb as I did when 1.3 dropped. I don't know if I'd cry, but I'd get giddy, that's for sure.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
One thing I really hope they fix is how much fuel you burn just getting off the ground. It's insane. Literally, taking off requires 25% of your fuel consumption. Like, are these ships made out of fucking lead? It just seems crazy. They need to balance that. Or at least, like, give you the ability to, like, sort of... Where is it? Like, upgrade your thruster technology so that you can create, like, blueprints for it to make taking off less of a burden or something. They need some type of better reward or customization system for that. Pisses me off. 50% of the game is like a plutonium mining exploration game. I would like to see tech slots that cut that by 25%. Yeah, dude. Seriously, like, it's a problem. Like, I have to debate, like, taking off. I'm like, do I need to fly right now? Do I really need to fly? Because it consumes so much gas, dude, just getting off the ground. It's crazy. TSS says, I'm at the point where I'm unsure what to do. I also hope that this update does not reset the planets at my base. I don't want to move again. I love my base now. Well, TSS, be prepared to move. Because with every single update, like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, they have, like, reset the galaxy. And every time, everything's gotten drastically different. That's why, like, once I complete these, like, little mini missions and stuff like that on my base, and I get all that stuff out of the way, I'm just gonna put all of my effort into putting my entire mining operation and everything, like my farming operation, on the freighter. So that no matter what happens, my whole thing is on the go. You know, if they completely fuck my planet up, it's not a big deal. Because they messed me up on this last update. My old home base was 1,200,000 and something light years away, and there's no way I could get back to it. And not only that, but the planet's probably not even the same. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'll move. So right now I'm residing in the Legacy Galactic Hub. I think everybody already got up and left. So I guess I'm a squatter. Ooh, I forgot I didn't repair those. Never mind. I was gonna say I was gonna load this ship up with lots of plutonium and iron and other things. K5 says, for the record, that something hasn't been found yet. In my honest opinion, it's a work in progress, and 1.3 unbalanced the whole thing. Yeah, I agree. I sort of misread that out loud, but I completely understand what you're saying. Dave Langer says, it's even worse in survival mode in permadeath because it's 100%. Like, do you mean taking off consumes 100% of the fuel block? Please don't tell me that's true, dude. The last time I tried to play survival, it birthed me, like, on a hot planet, and my ship was 18 minutes away, and there was, like, nowhere to hide, and I had no grenades, and there was no caves. So, like, I burned to death on the way to my ship, and I was like, you know what? This ain't for me. Too hard. Too hard. Your farm is better on the freighter, since when you warp the freighter, it will change all of the plant slots. Oh, when you warp with the freighter, it'll charge all of the plant's pots. Is that just a side effect of like warping, or is that like an exploit that just hasn't been patched yet? I hate that I have to redo all these missions because in 1.2 I already had all this knocked out and done. Yeah, taking off takes 100%, and so, man, that sucks. It's probably an exploit, but it works for now. Yeah, let's hope they don't patch it. Kind of like when you use your like melee attack and then jetpack, you like travel like at the speed of light. They've never fixed it because it's otherwise getting around would just suck. But yeah. Is anybody curious that in the Waking Titan website, when you type in "who is," which is one of the command prompts, you can say "who is Emily" and you get ... You could say "who is Atlas," "who is Korvax," "who is Viking," "who is the Traveler." You could say "who is Nada," "who is Polo." You could say all these different things. But the one thing you can't ask it is "who is Gek," right? So when you type in "who is Gek," you do not get any response at all from the Waking Titan website, and it's been that way since the first ARG. So I find that curious that maybe there's something with the Gex. Did you just do a combat crawl to avoid the camera? Hell no. But yeah, maybe there's a secret about the Gex that we're missing. Do I have the necessary platinum? Yes. Oh, I guess I don't have enough platinum. We shall acquire more platinum.
Radiation protection. Stabilizing.
Oh shit.
Free slots inserted inventory.
Like any of us know what's an exploit or not. You guys know I love this game, but Sean Murray needs to give us some spoon time. Right? Dude, it's like... Dave Linger, what's up with all the... Why'd you retract those messages? Was there a super secret site I shouldn't have seen? Tyler Thunder says, wow, 2018, it's already speeding by. I don't agree. We're still in January, like not even at the half point, so... I think it's chugging along just nicely, Tyler. Unless you're partying really fucking hard. If you're partying really hard, yeah. Then it probably seems like it's like kicking your ass right now, right? Dude, do I not have platinum on this goddamn planet? There we go. Ask and ye shall receive.
Radiation protection stabilizing.
Thanks for stopping by, TSS. You're probably gone already, but just in case you watch this back, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate having you. Hidden says, do you think we're going to get a graphic update this time again? You know, every time me and you have talked about this, Hidden, I've always said, there's not much more they could do with the graphics. And then every time, like, they overhaul the graphics, and they just get better and better and better every time, so. Textures and all, so. I'm just going to not answer that one because I don't think there's much more they can do, but every time I've said that, they literally have gone above and beyond in terms of the performance and the way the game looks and everything else, so I think it's safe to assume they're probably going to overhaul the graphics as well. I wouldn't be surprised. I hope they get the scaling right, like the sense of scale. I feel like things are bigger than they appear to be, because we don't have a player model or a good sense of like the size or scale of our character. It's hard to determine the size of things in the game. And I think that's why HiddenJewAgenda sees a lot of bushes instead of trees.
Radiation protection.
Because I think our perspective's just a bit skewed. Oh, because what you said was wrong. Okay, nice. Some abandoned building shit going on right here. Oh, no, that's an actual building. Alright, let me get caught up in the comments here. I think textures is the next big update. K5RTO, I wouldn't be surprised, man. Yeah. I mean, textures was a big part of 1.3. I mean, just look at the surface of the planet I'm on right now. You know, the ground looked kind of matte and flat, like in previous updates, but now there's grooves, you know what I'm saying? Right in this very system, there's a desert planet with, like, literally, like, lines through the sand, like you would see, like, in the Sahara or something, you know? They've done a lot, and I see textures getting even better. K5RTO says we may see a smaller multiplayer update between now and summer. Yeah, see, initially I thought the multiplayer aspect was going to be like the main focus of the next update and probably the biggest thing to come. But I think that we're just going to get like a multiplayer patch with some enhanced features. But the main meat of the update may still be, you know, focused on the single player experience. But for the overall lifespan of the game moving forward, I think the multiplayer is going to continue to be important, very important. You know, I'm going to be dropping a video probably tomorrow, kind of talking about this. But think about Grand Theft Auto 5. You know, Grand Theft Auto 5 is a great game and has a great campaign, but would people still be playing it at the level that they're playing it if it didn't have multiplayer? And I feel that that's the fate of No Man's Sky. If No Man's Sky doesn't really put out a solid multiplayer foundation, the game will just slowly die in a dark corner somewhere, like Grand Theft Auto 5 would have if it didn't have multiplayer. So, I think multiplayer is just important for the longevity of the game moving forward. I don't particularly care about multiplayer. It's not why I play the game. But for a lot of people out there, they'd return to the game if it had multiplayer. So, multiplayer is definitely going to be part of the next update, but how big a part, I don't know. Hidden says, I think you're right. Sean went and talked at a GDC and talked about textures, and I think they're focused on that. Yeah, they also talked about terrain, right? Hidden terrain was a big part of it as well, wasn't it? And every update, terrain has continued to be a big part of it, so it surprised me. Dave Langer says we need better textures and better optimization. Yeah, I'm with Hidden also on that. I'm with you, Dave. Now the optimization part, I'm assuming, Dave, you probably play on PC because the game is very well optimized, obviously for console, but for PC, I heard that there's major optimization problems and that some enhancements need to be made with how the game performs on PC running a variety of different hardware. I mean, with the PlayStation, they kind of know what they're getting. It's all the same hardware for the most part. But with PC, there's so many different things to optimize it for that, yeah, I could totally see that being a thing. Tyler says, I like how the Atlas Rises, or I like how with Atlas Rises, Hello Game said this is the next step in our journey. It does feel like a journey. Dave Langer says, yeah, based on how big the exocrafts are, our characters are probably the size of He-Man figures. I know. It's like you're towering over it, and then you just like walk up to it, and it's like you're driving a Matchbox car. They've got to sort it out. Like if you're flying past an asteroid in the game and you go into photo mode, right? The asteroid, which takes up like 15% of your screen, now is like the size of like an Earth eliminating, like dinosaur killing fucking asteroid. And it's like, yeah, it totally did not look like that from inside my ship. It looked like a, just like a giant chunk of rock. But when you zoom out, the thing is just absolutely massive, right? So there's a sense of scale problem, and I'm hoping they get it worked out. Moment to get caught up here. Yeah, also zoom in on those huge stacks of plutonium, and you can really see the better textures on that too. Yeah, you can see like lines and grooves and stuff in it. Hidden says, Panda and I both play on PS4 Pros and 4K, and there's a big difference with lighting and graphics. Yeah, specifically on my television, I have to turn it off when I live stream because it looks crazy and super cartoony and weird on YouTube. But HDR, the game supports HDR, and HDR makes a fantastic difference in terms of lighting and colors and just everything. It's huge shadows. So if you're playing on PlayStation 4 Pro and you don't have a 4K TV that supports HDR, I recommend making that a goal, something to work towards getting, because it definitely improves things, and it's pretty incredible how far they've come with that technology, specifically with HDR. Let me save where I'm at real quick. K5 says multiplayer is the fate of gaming in general. Agreed. Dave Langer says, I think it'll be basic co-op to stress test it, like maybe doing co-op quests and things like that. I agree, Dave Langer. I think that Unification Day was actually probably a great test for them, right? I mean, the amount of 16-person lobbies that happened during that. I mean, I spent quite a bit of time running around during Unification Day, and going in and out of different lobbies. And if that doesn't give them a good idea of how much muscle they can flex. I don't know what else will, because there was a lot of people there, like in the thousands, easily. So we'll see. We'll see what they get into. I play on Pro and I see that damn ground textures and think, blech, the 3D mapping polygons is solid though. Yeah, you know, I think the way that the game, like, because the game sort of creates itself as you play, I think that things are just relatively flat until, like, you have to interact with them in some way. So, and you can see that a lot of the time. I've watched people playing on PC where they, you know, they've got these, like, monstrous, you know, PCs with all this power and stuff like that, and just the FOV and the textures and you know, shadows and things like that. It, you know, I don't think anything beats the PC experience, especially when you take mods into consideration, like the, you know, Ray Rod's Overhaul and stuff like that, and you get dark space and ringed planets and dense forest, and you got to be cool enough to handle all of that. And all of a sudden, it's a totally different game, isn't it? Throw that platinum in the ship. We just ended up destroying all that plutonium and winning. Wasn't paying attention. Dave Linger, what I've noticed on PS4 Pro is that the frame drops are very few and far between, unless you're on a planet that has a ton of, like, life forms. Then it's almost non-existent. But when you're in a densely populated planet, that's when you sort of notice that there's a disparity there. But other than that, the performance has been quite good on PS4 Pro. It was definitely worth the upgrade, I'll tell you that. K5 says, and on PC, which is my biggest save, it's hardly optimized. Yeah, it's kind of. But I would imagine optimizing on PC would be very difficult, right? Because there's so many different hardware optimizations you have to account for, and specs and things like that. Whereas with a console, you know where you're at for the most part. So I think when it comes to optimization, it may in fact be easier to optimize for a console, but I don't know enough about that stuff to really speak on it. Billy2K5 says, anything happen with the 10th glyph? I mean, it's almost 2 weeks since it was unlocked and nothing really happened. Slowly I ask myself, if we are not able to solve it, or do we need to... Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Billy, before you were able to jump in. It's really strange. We've gone... This is the longest we've gone without solving any of the puzzles. And I've been following the subreddit, I've been following CSD forums, and looking into all those different outlets, and no one has any clue. You know, the only thing that seems to be a clue is Black Mirror, the show, because it's been referenced. You know, first of all, when you solve that hex code, you get the word mirror. I mean, an anagram for the word mirror anyway. When you crack the hex on it. But then he retweets a post about Black Mirror, and I've tried every variation of every word in that goddamn tweet. I've tried everything, and still, like, when you go to the Waking Titan website and type in "who is Gek," like, nothing happens. So there's something we're missing about the Gek, and something to do with mirror, and I don't know what any of it means, and no one's been able to solve it, and it's been frustrating, to say the least. Because you're right, this is the longest we've gone without solving it. So, I mean, for as long as the first Waking Titan was, I felt like we were relatively blowing through that, right? You know, every puzzle we seemed to knock out fairly quickly as a community. But this one is just either we're missing the clue or we have to wait on Atlas passes. And is everybody in agreement that that's something that we're actually going to get? I mean, are these physical things that we're getting, these Atlas passes? Do you guys still think that that's the case, or is it just, you know, I don't know. Dave Linger, when you say you can fly through them too, because they let the size of the potato, oh god damn, I slid into that mountain. I guess you're referring to the asteroids? Which brings me to another point. When you blow a hole through the asteroids with your phase beams or your pulse your pulse thing or whatever, and you're flying, that thing is creating like, that weapon is fucking gnarly. Think about how big that hole is. Pretty wild. Dave Winger says, I think if we get third person mode, that will fix all of that. I agree. Like, once we get the player model will essentially be the ruler by which you gauge the size of everything else in your environment. And so I think that it's the one thing that we get in order to figure out, you know, what exactly our not too often I just happen across a crashed ship. Hey man, well, what's up, man? I know I'm getting to these comments kind of late, dude, so thanks for being patient, guys, but welcome to the stream, dude. Thanks for jumping in. Lord of the Apes 79 says, hello, Mr. Panda. What's going on, dude? Dave Langer says, Xbox One X is made to run No Man's Sky. Yeah, because it could run it natively at like 4K at 60 frames a second, right? I mean, right now with the PS4 Pro, I think it's doing it at 1440p and then upscaling, which isn't the same, but it's close enough. Yeah, not interested in that. The thing I have is A-class, so unless it's an A-class or better, I don't even look at it. I'm gonna take a moment to get caught up here. Lord of the Apes, what mode are you in? Just the classic regular mode, man. I was telling a story earlier about how I tried to play survival, and my ship was 18 minutes away on a scorched planet, no caves, and I had no grenades, and I died on the way there, and I was like, not my style. I like flying around and finding stuff and just chilling and like interesting looking planets, like sort of like the one that you're seeing right now that's my home base, or my home planet. Dave Langer says, I wish when I had the PS4 Pro for a day it worked. It just wouldn't stay connected to my Ethernet. Could have been a bad PS4, but I didn't bother trying again, so I just went back to my old PS4. Yeah, I thought I was having that issue for a while, but it's definitely my internet provider. But there was a few times where I was like, yo, this thing keeps dropping. But so does my TV and my laptops and my phone, so it's our provider here. But I was concerned for a little bit that there was an issue with my PlayStation 4 Pro as well. Manuel says that's 3:10 a.m. here. Just can't sleep. I know what that's like sometimes, man. Where you at? South America, right? Or no, it's Spain, aren't you? Whatever. You'll tell me in a sec. Anthony B says, do you think the clue from the Black Mirror episode could be from the Black Mirror episode, like how it references some element of No Man's Sky? Yeah. The fact that that episode in particular was inspired by No Man's Sky and then Sean Murray retweets it, it's got to mean something. We just haven't figured out what it is yet. It's really bothering me. K5 said, we should be getting APs in our boxes. Atlas passes. Hopefully. Right? I mean, apparently they 3D printed them like we're getting a physical item, but there's only 10,000, so if I don't get one, I'm going to go to Guildford, England, and I'm going to voodoo clap my fat ass on their front door until they open it and let me in, and I'll piss on a bush. I don't know why I said any of that. Disregard anything I just said. That was really weird. Dave Langer said, they said it was something we were getting in the mail. Yep. Billy2K5 says 4:10 a.m. for me. In 3 hours I have to go to work. Damn, Billy, get some sleep. What the hell you doing, man? Dave Langer says, yeah, the asteroids, when you look at them, they look small, but when you put a hole in it, you can fly right through it, so they are really huge. Yeah. And when you go on photo mode, they're like 200 times the size of your ship. I mean, there's a couple pictures I have on Twitter where my hauler, it literally looks like a speck of dust next to one of the asteroids. And from inside the ship, you'd never get the impression it was that huge. It's insane. Just another sleepless night. I feel you, Billy. I get like that sometimes too, and like I've got to like try to figure out how to go to bed. Like my mind, it's like racing. It's like hard to sleep. HDR is better than 4K in my opinion. I agree 100%. So, and one of the better ways to play this on PlayStation 4 Pro on a 4K TV that supports HDR probably is 1080p mode with 60 frames locked in. So you're running at 60 FPS locked in on 1080p because you're going to get the HDR anyway, you know, even without the upscaling. So that might be the way to do it, you know. I haven't really played around with that configuration, but I would assume that that'd be the way to go. And I'm almost caught up here. I really want to play No Man's Sky, but I'm waiting to play when the next update drops. That's how I get, dude. Man, well, like, whenever there's an ARG, I hardly play No Man's Sky. It's like I play a lot otherwise, but whenever there's an ARG, it's like I get anxiety about it and I don't want to play it until the update drops because I'm so, like, geeked on what might come in the upgrade or update. So I don't know if it's the same thing for you, if that's why you don't play, but me and Hidden are the same way. Like, we do not like to play No Man's Sky while there's an update on the precipice, because it's like we're so geeked on like what's going to happen, you know. Oh, you're in Portugal. Nice. I was close, right? Spain is like your next door neighbor. España. Dave Langer says, yeah, nothing else connected dropped. I had both PS4s hooked up, and yep. Talking about the internet. So yeah, there was definitely you had some sort of issue with the networking on your PS4 Pro. I don't doubt it. Lord of the Apes said, had to ask because of all the suit upgrades. I don't run anywhere near that many. Yeah, my suit, I've got 48 slots. I've got 15 slots of high capacity cargo, and I'm going to start building out my exosuit technology slots here pretty soon. So I'll probably, once I kind of get these built out, I'll probably destroy a lot of these and then just rebuild them in the other slots, because I like to carry a lot of things. I'm sort of a hoarder, and there's often not a reason for me to have it all, but I just like to carry it, I guess. Kind of weird that way. Yep, there's some platinum. So go ahead and move iron over the ship, bring the platinum back. Go talk to the Gek.
Radiation protection stabilizing.
God, that's so annoying that I have to do all this. And I already have built the science terminal upstairs. It's like I don't even get it. Like why I have to go through all these steps. And I have to build a mine arc for Artemis. I haven't really played any of the storyline, so I'm so far behind on this stuff. There's this other game I played called Just Cause 3. I just did enough of the story so that they would cut me loose in the game, and then I never touched the story. I've had the game for 2 years. Never touched the story. I've taken over military bases. I've stolen like fighter planes and strafed bomb outposts and things like that, and done all this stuff. Never played the storyline. One time I was playing Skyrim, and I did the thing where you come off you're sort of handcuffed. The dragon attacks. You pick your character, you customize all that kind of stuff, and then you have to go to like this small town. And then after this town, I think it's called like River Run or something like that, they send you to Whiterun, right? So on my way to Whiterun, the path diverges. One to Whiterun, one goes left. I went left, never went to Whiterun for months. I came back as like this ultra, like I had everything, like crazy ass armor, like weapons, like all kinds of stuff. And I came back to Whiterun and did like the first like story mode thing. The rest of the time I was just all side quests and like going through caves and shit. I never followed the storyline. Lord of the Apes says, is this your first playthrough? As far as like playing through the storyline and like doing the missions and stuff, like pretty much. Never actually really focused on it. Just warping around. Dave Langer says, yeah, I put like 500 hours into Skyrim and never finished the story. Yeah, I don't know what it is about sandbox games, dude, but I never do the thing that they want me to do. It's like I'm an anarchist or something. I just don't want to do it. I'm just like, fuck that. I'm going to go off on my own journey. And I did. And matter of fact, when I went back to Whiterun and started talking to like people in the city and stuff, they would ask me to go on these quests, and I'd already have the item in my inventory, and then I would just go talk to them immediately, and I would get like credit for the quest. That happened like a fuckload. I had already did like half the shit. Just didn't know I did it. Dave Link said the side quests are always better. Yeah, man. Or maybe for me it's just like I don't want to be told what to do. So whenever people in the game are like, yeah, I need you to do this, I'm like, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man. And I go on my own way. K5RTO says, I did some exploring of Rayrod's mod today. It's glitchy, but cool as fuck. If only HD would implement some of those dense veg and diverse biomes. But good looking mod, though. Yeah, no, I agree. I watched, you know, I don't know if anybody here is a fan of MZK or watches his videos, but MZK was talking about Rayrod's mod and said that he's had virtually no issues with Rayrod's mod at all, and that it seems to be running smooth. So I guess it's just dependent on maybe what stuff you're running on your computer, I guess. I don't know. I don't play on PC, so I don't know enough about it to really speak on it. Though. Great, I got none of those nanite clusters. I'm too stacked. Okay, I'm just getting back into it and haven't heard of you before. I like seeing people play it for the first time. Yep, nope. I've been playing for a year. I'm new to YouTube though. The channel's only been up for like a few months. But yeah, not new to the game by any means. But if you want, next time I'll pretend to be a virgin for you. I'll start like a new save game or something. No, I'm just playing. I just love seeing people stream No Man's Sky, period, to be honest. Like, anytime I see somebody streaming, I, like, trip out, and I'm like, hell yeah. And I usually will go sub or say hey or something like that. It's crazy to me that it's such a controversial title. It's still so popular with such a dedicated group that continues to play, and new players are added all the time. And it's just really exciting to see. Because it means that things have turned around for the game, and it's all positive now, I see new kids playing all the time, new people getting into the game and like really enjoying it, especially since Atlas rises. So as far as I'm concerned, we probably have the best community in gaming in terms of just the lack of hate for the most part, just really cool people. It's everybody seems to be creative and is really into this game, so I don't think I've ever enjoyed being part of any community as much as this No Man's Sky community. Meatwad Show. When do you think the update is going to drop? And also, I love you and your videos. Well, thank you, Meatwad Show. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I used to have a theory on when the update would drop, and it used to be Unification Day, and then I was wrong. And then that changed to January 5th, and then I was wrong. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and play this one by ear. If I can get any more clues and something that kind of helps me speculate, I'll definitely bring it out and discuss it, or let you guys know what I think. Because, anybody that's been to the channel knows this is a speculation-heavy channel. Like, this is tinfoil is what goes down here, you know what I mean? But, yeah, just nothing new. Just clues, but nothing that's, like, really led to anything. So I just don't really have nothing new to speak on. And I've sort of been asking people in the stream and just stuff like that if anybody's heard anything just about the ARG and, like, anything new, because there's just stuff out there that, like, we haven't solved yet. It's like, what, we gotta be missing something, and I just don't know what that is, you know? Lord of the Apes says it's all good. I first started around the same time as Mac 4-Day. I like Mac 4-Day. I watch his streams a lot. I've done an interview with Mac 4-Day. I really support, like, what he does. He's a cool dude. I like his perspective on things for sure. Are you part of what is it? What's Mac 4-Day part of again? Are you part of the Spacing Guild? Are you part of that with Mac 4-Day? Dave Langer says, I want the permadeath trophy. I'm just going to get the first glyph for all the coordinates and get near the center. I'm going to get there ASAP. Yes. Oh, by the way, on one of Mac 4-Day's videos, he has centers of excellence. And there's a place there, a farm, where there's the coordinates. If you have the glyphs get there, apparently there's a lot of really great shit to, like, mine off of that for, like, money. So if you're like me, where you're kind of, like, sketched out about, like, starting a farm and really dedicating that time in case things change with the next update, if you've got portal coordinates, you can go, and it's just a few minutes away from the portal, and it's called a Center of Excellence, and there's a lot of them if you go to the Spacing Guild website, and you can just make a lot of money just by picking that stuff and crafting what you need, and then going to the space station and selling it. So I definitely recommend you guys check out Mac 4-Day. Also, shout out 4-Day. Anybody needs money in No Man's Sky, go to the Space and Guild website, check out those Centers for Excellence. The spirit of the Federation. I just hope it doesn't take 6 months. Dude, the first ARG was too long, and this is starting to shape up like it's going to take just as long. And we all were saying that we hope it was going to be shorter, so they've got to speed this up, because we get cranky, right? The whole community gets cranky when, like, we've got to... I mean, we don't mind. The ARG is fun, but it's got to be quick and, like, lead to something, or people are going to get frustrated really fast. Manuel says, I heard January 12th. Don't know, but probably another guess. Kinds of different things, and if it's just straight up speculation, cool, but if you're gonna come up with a date that no one's heard of or something like that, I need some supporting evidence of why you think it's that, even if you're dead wrong. I've been dead wrong like 100 times, but there's usually like a logical path I take to get to that conclusion, so that I'm not wrong just for the sake of being wrong or taking a wild guess. There's usually some methodology on how I get there, even if it's totally, you know, it's a bust, right? So if it's January 12th, whoever said that, I'd like to know why they think it's January 12th. I'd be curious to see. And if we get an update on January 12th, I literally will shit my pants on a live stream, because I just don't see it happening. I do not see us getting one in January. I used to. I thought we were going to get it before the end of the year, but I've been wrong at every turn. So Lord of the Apes says, you getting an AP4? Don't know. I don't think it's been confirmed with anyone if they're getting one. I remember getting an email from Old God saying that I one, and this was after the first ARG. So maybe I am. Otherwise they wouldn't have sent that email out. So I think I'm getting one. I hope so. If I don't, I'll be pissed, because I did a lot of work on that ARG. Did I? I don't know. Maybe I just like followed other people's work and just reported on it or something. I can't remember. But Manuel, maybe something about the ARG. Yeah, I mean, if we get it on the 12th, dude, I'll trip. I'm telling you. Hidden says, this update needs to hurry. I'm growing a CC top beard already, bro. And this is after I trimmed it. Like last month, I like got trimmed up and got my hair cut. I wish this would happen here. It's like the longer this gets, the longer my forehead gets. But yeah, this grows just way too fast, and it gets dense, unlike No Man's Sky Forest. Haha. Dave Langer says February 9th could be the date if you go with 1.5, meaning a year and a half update. I've not considered that. 1.5 years since release. That's interesting. You can't see it because of the headphones, but my ears they're popping right now. Not really thought about that. That would be clever. Hashtag what is 1.5? A year and a half since the release of No Man's Sky. Could get an update then. That's very interesting. Did you just sort of come up with that off the fly, or is that something that people are in the community have actively been postulating as a possibility? And if I use the word postulating incorrectly, please correct me. Just this one time I wanted to sound really smart. Oh, while I got you guys on here, anybody know how to find Omegan? Because I need that for a couple of things I need to upgrade, and I've not found Omegan since 1.1. So I need Omegan. Boomstick Joe, hello everyone. Hey, what's up, Boomstick Joe? I don't know why, but every time I see your username, Boomstick, I think of Negan from Walking Dead, but that's just Lucy. So I don't know why I make the connection with Boomstick and Negan, but I just do. Maybe because Lucille goes boom. Meatwad says, all I gotta say is after this one, they need to stop with the ARG stuff to start communicating with the community and updating the game as well. I actually like the ARG, so I hope they don't stop the ARG. I imagine it would be expensive to continue doing it, but like, I actually like it because it kind of gives you a breakaway from the game where you're still participating actively in No Man's Sky, but like, not in the game. So it's still immersive, if that makes any sense. So it's different, it's new, it's exciting, and it's immersive, and it's still No Man's Sky. So it's cool, you know? But yeah.
Radiation protection stabilizing. Technology recharge.
Oh, and Meatwatch Show, going back to your comment, I think it was during Boondock's stream earlier today, or something I heard today, somebody said that, I think it was Boondock, said that Hello Games and Sean Murray need to do like a State of the Game, sort of like a State of the Union address, but like a State of the Game address. And I agree. Like, come out and talk to us. Like, let us know what you're working on. Maybe do like a live stream tour of the new facility. Like, Hello Games has a new studio, you know? Like, let us know what you're up to. You know, you have mostly positive, feedback on Steam. A lot of publications and websites and stuff are saying a lot of positive things about No Man's Sky. You guys have won a few awards now. PC Gamer gave you guys an award. You know, I mean, like, it's a good time now to come out and, like, fucking talk to us, man. You know, Sean Murray, if you happen to come across it, dude, just drop the video, say, hey, what's up? You know? You're no longer the Susan Boyle of the gaming, as you like. Lord of the Apes said, did you already get it? And are sworn to secrecy. No, I did not get it. I am not a secret person. I mean, I like secrets and surprises and stuff, but like when it comes to this game, like, as the delivery person is handing me the package that the Atlas Pass is in, like, I probably will have my telephone in my hand and, like, be live streaming at that very moment. So, like, if I get an Atlas Pass, unless there's, like, specific instructions from Hello Games to not say anything, which I would probably ignore anyway and still say something to somebody, like you guys will know. Billy2K5 says, Panda, I have to go. Have a nice chill stream. See you next time. See ya. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining the stream, man. I appreciate it. So, normally HiddenJewAgenda is the one that does the streams. He's got I guess more of a upbeat personality, and I enjoy watching him. It's like I'm a fan of his, even though he's like half the channel, right? But he's definitely the better one when it comes to streaming. But I like to try my hand at it from time to time. I always make this mistake. This is not the marker I meant to come to. Fuck. I always do this. Alright, which one? Where's one? There it is. Dave Langer says, and that would make the ARG 3 or 4 weeks. And I have a few others come up with that theory. Let's hope that's true, man. Let's hope that that's the case. That would, Omegan, you have to buy it from vendors. You can't just come across it. Can you get it from like if you blow up freighters and like kill pirates and shit? Can you get Omegan that way, or like does it have to be purchased from vendors? Because I've tried that. I've like gone through many space stations and tried to find Omegan to purchase, and I cannot seem to do it. So I don't see anyone anywhere selling it. Like, I wish that there was a way that we could, like, trade with each other, because I would give you, like, hella million units, like, if I could just buy Omegan from you, because I need it to upgrade my warp drive, I need it to upgrade my jetpack to the Theta, like, I need it for a few different things, so, like, Omegan is, like, necessary for me right now. Try using the economy scanner. You know what? I've not played around with these new scanning adapters, so I might just do that actually. You buy Omegon from trade terminals. Shop smart, shop smart. Lord of the Apes says Omegan can only be purchased at the moment. There isn't a deposit found since 1.1. I was gonna say, like, I think I actually did say that was the last time that I saw Omegan was 1.1. I wasn't sure if you could buy it or not because I've not been able to just simply find it. But I guess we'll see. So if anybody has these portal glyphs, you know, come by and check out my home planet. I don't have a farm or anything, but it's just a cool planet. It's a radioactive planet. It's got a lot of hills, a lot of jumps if you like doing some stuff on the exocraft. And also this just gives me time to get caught up in the comments. Normally I have Hidden that really helps me out with it, but he's a full-time employee, full-time dad, plays in a band, runs this YouTube channel with me, so he's just a busy guy, so he just wasn't really able to get in there today. But normally, while one of us is playing, one of us is also helping out with the chat, so I struggle alone sometimes. The Ape says, I like the ARG too. Yeah, I think it's cool, you know. It's cool that they do that, and it's sort of how they communicate with us in a way. I also think the very first ARG that they did, if you read the PDFs and sort of follow the story of it, it almost sounded like the release of No Man's Sky and like what happened and things that went wrong, and it was sort of like an apology as well. Like some of the companies I think were replaced with Sony and some were Hello Games, but just with like fictional titles, and so we all became part of the No Man's Sky origin story. But at the same time, I think it was a way for them to sort of explain maybe some of the things that happened and what they were struggling with, as well as, you know, sort of an apology for not really being able to talk to us. I think the ARG originally was intended to sort of be a way to communicate with us. So, you know, I like it. Matthew Gooding says, I just joined the stream. What'd I miss? Just talking about Waking Titan, man. Just sort of speculating, seeing if anybody discovered anything new, what we think might be going on with the ARG, when we think the updates come in, anything that we've heard. Basically, nothing's happened with the ARG. We've unlocked the glyph, but like we've not been able to solve like the answer to the thing to move on to the next part. There's something to do with Mirror. There's something to do with Black Mirror, the TV show. There's clues all over the place, but we just don't know what any of it means. So, you know, whenever I do a stream with Waking Titan in the title, it's going to be partly, if I discover anything new, I'm telling you guys, but it's going to be me asking you guys if you've heard anything as well, because I also follow the ARG, and I'm trying to, you know, figure things out as well on my own. So, yeah. Dave Langer says, you missed him solving the 10th glyph. I wish. That would be, dude, that'd be crazy. That'd be fucking wild, right? I want to be the one that does it. I've been trying everything, literally. Like I almost like feel like I need to go through like an encyclopedia, just type enter, type enter. So, Meatwad Show says, what I mean is, Hello Games does need to communicate with the community and try to repair the relationship with their customers. I agree. I feel like it'll go a long way, right? Like that whole thing will definitely go a long way and be really, really helpful. At the beginning, they really couldn't say anything because they were going to be held to a standard. If they said anything, people were going to hold them to it. just because of the way that things were with how people were salty about the game and the way that the game was released and came out and stuff like that. And, you know, I understand. I get it. Completely. So, you know, I understand at the beginning they couldn't talk. Plus, there were some lawsuits in the air and some kind of legal shit that was going on. So, if I was them, I wouldn't have said anything either. But now, you know, it's more than a year after the release of the game. The game's being viewed positively by a lot of different people. You know, anybody that's part of the No Man's Sky community, or has a YouTube channel, or is part of the subreddit, or the CSD forums, whatever the case is, you're seeing a lot less hate now. You're seeing a lot less trolls coming in and doing the whole no man's lies shit and all that. You're not seeing as much of that because all of the points that they had to argue about, they fixed. So we're in a really good place with the game now, and I think now is the time where Sean Murray can actually come out and address things with the community directly. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that. Lord of the Apes said release Atlas Universe stat sheet. Yeah. Rain First says hello. Hey, what's going on, Rain First? Last time, welcome back by the way. Last time that me and you chatted in the comment section, Rain, I think you were in the South Carolina area, and I think they're undergoing some flood problems right now. Am I correct about that? Hopefully that you're okay and that that's not touching you down there. If I'm even right about touching you down there, such a good thing to say. But hopefully, if you are in the South Carolina area, I hope you're doing well, and I hope that none of that flash flooding has impacted you. I know that, you know, last year we had our own issue. I'm in Texas, and we had an issue in Houston with a lot of flooding and stuff as well. I'm way too far north to have had to deal with that, but you know, hopefully everything's good with South Carolina. Alright, do I have room for this in my inventory? I need to make glass. It's one of the rare times I catch on a live stream a predator hunting prey. But it had the unfortunate problem of he wasn't even near it when it died, which makes me sad because that was pretty cool to see. I don't see that often enough in this game. Hidden says, thank you, Panda. Your streams are good, man. Hey, Rain. Hidden. Don't be nice to me, dude. I know you're lying. No, I'm playing. I appreciate that, man. But no, I really am a fan of your streams. That's why I always want you to do them. In case there's any confusion or people don't know or understand, this channel is run by two people, myself, Panda, and then HiddenJewAgenda. And I always bug him about doing the live streams because he's just so much better at them. So thank you guys again for joining the stream and being patient and keeping the comment section active. So, Matthew Gooding says, anything significant come from it? Not so far. Dave Langer says, I've only seen it from the vendors on planets I guess that's referring to Omegan. Rainforest says Omegan can be mined from trees, I think, but it's random if you will get it. Yeah, I've been pretty lucky with Radnox, kind of being side mined through things, but like unfortunately not Omegan, and I need Omegan pretty badly because I like to upgrade my tech slots, and I've got all the other things that I need, all the other components. I just need the Omegan, so that's kind of where I'm at. Boomstick Joe says I got Omegan from a trade terminal in my freighter. I need to build one of those, but I hate how much shit you need to just make the microchips or whatever to build the terminal. God, that's so annoying. You have to make like 10 of them. I mean, it's crazy. And the shit you need, or the circuit boards, and the stuff you need to make the circuit boards, it's like intense. It's like, why do I need that much shit to make a circuit board? But once you, I mean, it's probably hella convenient, right, to have that goddamn thing on your space station. But yeah, or your freighter, I mean. Rainforests have gotten it randomly. Lord of the Apes says, I think only vendors. I think eventually get put back in. Rainforest says, be right back. Rainforest, don't drop in, then disappear, then drop back. Panda doesn't like that. No, I'm just playing. Go do you think? Lord of the Apes says, at least one person usually sells it at every trade depot or freighter, but not necessarily space stations. See, now that's a good one. I've not tried going into a freighter to try to purchase it. I've always gone to a space station or a trade terminal. So maybe I should try a freighter. Rain says, I'm back. Welcome back. Hidden Panda, or Dave Langer says, how can mirrors be real if your eyes aren't real? Fuck, that's deep. Dude, on the tweet, Sean Murray said something about if you fall asleep with a mirror on your face, you wake up in your dreams. What does that even mean? And then he said, or what about an app, but it's evil? I have so many ideas. I'm like, dude, did you just like smoke some gnarly, just strong indica weed and like you're couch potatoed out, fucking just tripping? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, that has got to be a clue in there somewhere, and I can't find it. Meatwatcho says, apparently Sean Murray tweeted mirrors. Well, he didn't tweet mirrors. It was a hex code that was at the bottom of the Myriad 70 website, and if you solved it, you got like Rorim or something like that. It's an anagram for mirrors, and then that was used to unlock something else, and then we get the 10th glyph, and we need a password for that. No one knows what the fuck it is. So, we're lost. Rainforest says, no, I don't think so. No reports of flooding here. Okay. I could have made it up, but we'll go ahead and pretend like there's some serious flooding going on in South Carolina right now. Obi-Wan, did anything happen in No Man's Sky? Are we still waiting? We are still waiting. I'm sort of streaming and hoping that somebody discovers something. I've been asking people, have you guys discovered anything? Nothing's really happened. We're still trying to figure out the whole 10th glyph situation, so nothing new on that. And Obi-Wan says, I sell explosives in living glass. I can make a ton of circuit boards easy. Obi-Wan, I heard that there's a debate out there if living glass is better for selling than the liquid explosives, and there's a big argument to be made about the liquid explosives. Which was, if I'm going to start a farm right now, which do you think I should more gear it towards? Should I gear it towards liquid explosive or living glass? Which one do you think is... And it doesn't necessarily have to be which one makes the most money per sale. What my interest is in is which one yields the crop the fastest. Because let's say that the one of them sells for a lot more, but if I can get 2 to 3 yields in the amount of time it takes to get one yield of the other item that sells for more, I can make more money. So which is better, living glass or something else? Let's just go ahead and send the carpet over here. Alright, look. Just trying to mine my fucking titanium, dude. Where's the other one? Obi-Wan says, or Rainforest says, I mean, Sean Murray tweeted about mirrors, but no update has come out. Yep, that's really been about the only thing. But he hasn't just tweeted about mirrors one time. I even, and I don't want this to sound like I'm taking credit for anything because it meant absolutely nothing. But I had tweeted something about how there are no mirrors in No Man's Sky because, you know, so we don't know what we look like because we can't see ourselves. There's no like reflective surfaces. And then right after that, this whole ARG thing kicks off with mirrors and Black Mirror and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, it's just uncanny how all that happened, how all that went down. Boom suggests it's very convenient. I used to farm to grip stuff to make the circuit boards. That's smart. Dave Langer says he smoked Geknip. Geknip is chronic. I use wax. Yeah, I like the vape pens. You kind of cruise control all day long. Well, let's not talk about that. My face is right here. I'm not trying to get squatted. Living glass is the way to get. Face on time. Boomstick Joe says King Bide the first has a farm to mix when yep. Rainforest says imagine being able to own space stations though. It would be just like freighters, it would be pointless. I don't particularly have an interest in owning freighters, but what would be really cool is, space stations, but what would be really cool is if space stations actually had shit to do inside them. Because you approach this giant space station, and there's a guy with a mission board, and you could get some stuff with nanites, and then there's Hush, and then there's this thing where you can a little trade terminal thing, and like that's it. I think it'd be really cool if there was like there was like a garage where you could do like customization to your ship and get new paint jobs or decals or something like that, right? Like that they gave sort of more of a purpose to the space station. So it's like when you land, there could be like a terminal there that you interact with, and you can select what you want to do. And there could be a whole different part of the space station that then your ship drops down into, where you can go talk to people, and there's different stuff in there, and like quarters and a canteen, and you can get people to do jobs for you, or something. Just make the space stations do something besides what they fucking do right now. It just seems like a waste of an object. Also, something that really fucks me up every time I play is if I discover a new system, then it says the planets, everything are unmapped, but there's already a fucking space station there. That pisses me off. And I don't think it would be very difficult to do this. So when you discover an unmapped system or a system that nobody's been to before, there's just fuck all there. Nothing is there. There's nothing inside. There's a planet, there's no NPCs, there's nothing. And what you have to do is you have to go down to the planet's surface and you build a beacon. And you activate the beacon, and that sends a signal up. And over time, things starts to appear. NPCs show up, outposts show up, space station eventually comes there, stuff like that. That way you feel like you actually discovered it, right? Because in one sense, it's telling me that I discovered this system, but in another sense, there's already shit there, and people living on it. And then I'm just kind of like, I don't feel rewarded, with my discovery, because there's already things there. And maybe a lot of people haven't thought of that, and I'm the only one with that gripe. But I just wish that when you get to a system that hasn't been mapped before, there's just nothing there. There's no sign of anything else. Now, maybe there could be pirates there, right? Like there was in the Caribbean, for example, hundreds of years ago, there may have been islands that the British Navy maybe hadn't been aware of, where pirates were hiding their treasures and shit and operating from, even though most other civilizations didn't know of their existence. That could be one possibility, right? So there could be pirates, but I want to feel like when I get there, there's no other signs of civilization there, that I'm the only one visiting on that place. I think that would be pretty cool. But maybe I'm just being a nitpicky person. Boomstick Joe says Living Glass is the fastest, so that's the direction I'm going to go then, is Living Glass. To me, it's all about speed. If I can make more Living Glass in the same amount of time that it takes to make one set of Liquid Explosive, even though Liquid Explosive sells more individually, I'm just going to make more money with Living Glass, right? So I think that's where I'm going to head. And I've heard Living Glass many times by more people that that's the way to go. I'll sleep with a mirror on my face if I'll wake up in my dreams. I don't dream very often, or at least I don't remember that I've dreamed. And the dreams that I have remembered have been fucking horrifying. So I don't ever want to wake up in my dreams. That sounded depressing. I'm not depressed though. I mean, sometimes I just have bad dreams. But depends what you can grow outside. I would say depends on your playstyle. Living Glass yields more, but Explosive sells for a lot more. And you know, I may just do both and just see which one I prefer to farm. You know, or I might just equip my multi-tool with some badass scanning shit and just make a lot of money just bouncing around scanning animals and not even farm at all. Maybe I'll just be like a zoologist, you know. That's what I like about what they've done with the in-game economy and all the different options that you have, is that there's so many different ways that you can earn money relegated to just farming. So that's pretty neat. Obi-Wan says, if all you do is farm, go with Living Glass and get yourself the trade terminal. Boomstick Joe says, I make 5 explosives and a heat cap in my base and 7 circuit boards and a Living Glass in my freighter. Rainfur says, I have both Living Glass and explosive farm. You should send me your coordinates to Living Glass and I'm going to go there and raid it. So I need money in this game badly. I used to have like quite a bit of units in the game, and after buying some ships and some freighters and stuff, all I have left is 1,400,000. Like HiddenJewAgenda, he's balling out of control compared to me. He's like Bill Gates, and I'm like Jeff at Whataburger. You know what I mean? In terms of like the disparity of wealth. So I've blown through my riches, guys, and I need to build it back up because this ain't cutting it. If you had to take a guess right now when you think the update, or guess when you think the update would come out, I can't guess right now because everything I've been completely wrong about, and now I have no other direction to go to. Because at first I thought it was going to be during Unification Day, then that passed by, nothing happened. Then I thought it was going to be January 5th, and that went by, nothing happened. So at this point, I honestly have no clue at all what's you know, down the pipe. So Dave Langer did have a good guess though. He said that there's people in the community that have been talking that 1.5 could suggest 1.5 years since the release of the game. So then that would put the update at right around the corner if that's true. So that is one guess that's out there. It's not my guess, but something that Dave Langer put in the chat. So, and it's interesting to think about as well, because I've not quite thought about that. So that would be pretty cool. Lord of the Apes says, has anyone tried putting what is YRRUCN warp in the website? No, but why that word specifically? What does that mean? What is that? I mean, I'll fucking do it later if there, you know. Why that? Lord of the Apes. Living Glass is better, according to Rainfur. Takes longer to start, making a lot though. Yeah, I mean, it's No Man's Sky. You gotta have patience to even play the fucking game, you know? So that's cool. Just trying to make that dough. Obi-Wan says, I would like them to work for Nada Station. I would like a shipyard where a player can customize their ship. Yes, that would be cool. Like, make the space stations, like, do other shit. Like, make them have more things in there, you know? Like, it's a terrible waste of space. You have this giant hallway where essentially all the ships land, but it's like 10% of the size of the space station. There's so much that could be happening in there. You know, fuck, you know, the complexity of having a civilization or a city on the planet. Just make the space station a city. Have NPCs walking around, shops that you can go by to buy different things, different vendors. You know, one of the things that I've talked about that I want to see in the game is I'd like to see that there's people out there that they enjoy building bases. So what I'd like to see is that people can build bases and essentially put them in a database where other players can purchase those bases, right? And then the credits that you spend, the units that you spend, go to the player that like made it, or like different things like that. That'd be cool. That would be one way that players who enjoy base building, like that guy who makes all the fast food restaurants. How cool would it be if he could put that in a database that other players could buy, and he could charge 100 million units for it? And that's just a way that he can make an income in the game, is by charging players for his creation. So then it's a win-win situation. He gets to create whatever he wants, but then he can also make in-game money by selling that to other players through a database they can have in the game, and it could be one aspect of the economy. There's so many different things that they can do, and I don't think any of it would be particularly hard to implement, but I'm not a game developer, so I don't actually know. Lord of the Apes says, Obi-Wan, stay out of my head. I had that idea back in April. Hell yeah. Rainforest says, I like them unexplored, but every planet has an outpost. Exactly. And if you found the system, the space stations and the outposts would be named after you. That would be cool. That's what I'm talking about. When I discover a system, I want to feel like I discovered it, right? Not somebody, is already there, but there's a giant space station there, and there's fucking 100 freighters and pirates and shit. Just no one took the time to go land on any of those planets to check anything out. So I'm the first one. No, nothing should be there. Then I have to build a beacon, and that attracts everything else to me, right? So that would be really cool. Also, like, now that we have portals and you can type in a portal code and get virtually anywhere in the game, how about this? Friends that are part of like your PlayStation Friends group or your Steam friends, if you play on PC, how cool would it be if that went into a database, right? So your friends list pops up on your menu, and when you go to your friends list, it shows their base coordinates, so that you can just, you don't have to like have a screenshot of someone's portal code, or it takes away a lot of the work of having to figure out what a portal code is. It's just they're your friend, they're in your database, you can get their portal code right then and there, and then you don't have to type it in all the way. You can just walk up to the terminal, and you could select from your friends list at the portal terminal, and then it'll just key it in for you, and you can go. It could just make it a lot quicker. So to visit your friends and stuff like that, once they flesh out multiplayer a little bit better, obviously, that would be pretty neat. Obi-Wan says, the bigger the animal, the larger the payout. If you want a bad dream, play Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous is a great game. It does space better than No Man's Sky, but it does planets absolutely shit. So space is cool because it's more realistic, right? If you select a star system on the map that you're going to travel to, you actually have to navigate your ship to that point in space, and then you frame shift to it, right? Whereas in No Man's Sky, you just pick a point on the map, and then you hit a button, and animation pops up, and then you're there all of a sudden. It's the same animation every time. It breaks the immersion. So they should definitely take a few nods from Elite Dangerous when it comes to exploring in space, but no one touches No Man's Sky right now when it comes to what you do on the planet. It just what they've been able to do, especially the fact that it even runs on a console. Star Citizen, you need the most gangster computer in the world to run that game at the fidelity that it's intended to. Whereas No Man's Sky looks great, runs great on a PlayStation. 18 quintillion planets. Like, what the fuck, So that's pretty dope. Anybody know the answer to this puzzle that's going to pop up on the screen? Because I have no clue. I suck at math. Obi-Wan says, the bigger the animal, the larger the... Yep. I have all scanning upgrades and make a lot off scanning. I may just do that. I might just do scanning upgrades, and as I warp around different systems and stuff, I can just make money scanning shit. That's one way to do it. That'd be pretty cool. That would also be 6 months from the 1.3 update, which, damn, time flies. It's crazy, yeah, Dave Langer, it's crazy that much time in the game has passed, or since the last update. Because we got used to them doing updates like every 3 or 4 months, and then now it's 6 months out, and nothing's happened. which would also lead me to believe that this update may be like fucking big, right? Like gigantic. So we'll see. Lord of the Apes says, I had an Emerald mine back in 1.2 and made a fortune. I already have all S-class ships on my original file. He also says, prawn curry mirrored. Dave Langer says, something they need to have is letting us... Oh! Prawn curry... Bro, go to Wake the Titan right now and try that shit. I'm not even fucking around. Let me know if it works. Lord of the Apes. If that works, goddamn. You're a gentleman and a scholar and a hero, sir. Give that a try. I don't think anyone's thought of that. I've not heard that in any of the communities yet. So... Something they need to have is letting us sell our old ships for money, because once our freighter fills up, no one will fly in. That's true. When you get all 6 ships, it's very difficult to get someone to come in there. You know, like if I want an exotic ship right now, like I've got 5 ships. Well, now I have 6, but before I had 5 ships. And if I wanted to get an exotic ship, I would have to lose a ship to do it, because I had 5 in my freighter and I couldn't get anybody else to land. There's just certain little things that they just need to fix that would improve it. And I mean, nothing terribly complicated, you know, nothing super hard. I think 5 months from now, on the 5th day, on the 5th hour, though no clue with 1.4. Lord of the Apes says, well, you remember what it was like in space stations before nanites and missions. They've been adding to them every patch. That's true. To be fair, that's very true. Yeah, I agree. And that wasn't a promo spot for Google. I just realized that like the emblem and everything was like right up in your face. My brother works for Google. I have the coffee mug, so. Lobby1 says, abandoned bases would be a great idea. I still play to get to the center of every galaxy. I have at least 4 abandoned bases. I see no point in progressing to another galaxy. I just don't. I've always just been in the Euclid. I've had the opportunity to go to the center and just go to the next one, but I just don't see the point. I have friends that are like in Calypso and shit. I have no, and Bulldanger and shit like that. I just have no interest in it. Especially with joint exploration right now, there's just not enough people in those galaxies. Now with the portals, you can kind of go back and forward, so it's becoming less and less of a problem, and it's starting to matter less. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy in the Euclid at the moment. There's not enough different about every galaxy that entices me to do it. That's why I want, so Rainforest says, that's why I want badly NPCs to be walking around. That'd be cool. I heard Ray Rod's working on a mod that'll do that. Hopefully he gets to it before Hello Games drops that in the next update, right? So, because what Ray Rod's been doing with these mods has been magical, and a lot of the assets have already been in the game, like the way that the third-person mode works and stuff like that. Like that stuff's already that's in the game already, right? Like it's old code that he essentially exercised into the game or expressed into the game, but like the way that he makes that work is stuff that's already there. So third-person mode and NPCs walking around, and you know, they might already be working on all this shit, you know. I think all these series of updates have been planned well in advance, because at the end of every one, it's always been more to come. There's more exciting stuff down the future, and it's like everything's sort of a logical progression. So I think a lot of this stuff has been planned out, like on an action board, basically, and they already know for the most part what they're doing, and just over time they're just kind of drip dropping it in and building us up to whatever the ultimate vision is, right? But I think that the 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 were all planned way before. There was a press release before the game came out where Sean Murray said he wanted to add base building, he wanted to add freighters, and he wanted to add vehicles, ground vehicles, into the game, and multiplayer, and he's added all those things. So I'd be pissed off if I paid $60 for a game that just didn't update, but all these updates and patches, I've been happy, been a happy camper. Hidden says Sean is a fan of Elite, so there's hope. He is. He's said that several times, that he grew up on Elite and he's a big fan of the game, and I hope he probably plays Elite. You know what I mean? You can't say that, but I bet he does. and I hope that he takes some inspiration from some of the stuff, because they do some stuff when it comes to space and flying. They do a lot of things very well, just not planets. 81. Thank you, Lord of the Apes and Dave Langer. Dave Langer says the agenda is not hidden anymore. We just call him hidden because the whole hidden Jew agenda thing throws people off. If anybody's wondering, he's not an anti-Semite, so it's just a play on a conspiracy theory. Says, I'm not at the PC at the moment. Hey, somebody out there, try what Lord of the Apes was talking about. He basically said, type in prawn curry mirrored into Waking Titan on the 10th flip and see if that does anything. I don't think that anybody has tried that. It's worth a try. I'm not near the computer right now, so. But I'd be curious to see if that does anything. Dave Langer says, I would love to see when you move your base by picking a new planet, you would have the option to move your base so you don't have to rebuild it. That would be cool. You have a freighter. You know what I mean? Just like you just pick it up, take it away. Ooh, how cool would it be if you could just have your exocraft on your freighter and just like, I don't know. I'm getting overboard. Pete Valinera says, anyone have any speculation on how many updates we will see total? Is 2 years a reasonable expectation for updates? Hidden messages in the update numbers? I think that as long as the community continues to support this game, that they're going to continue to update this game for a long time. I see this being continually updated for quite a while. We just have to continue supporting it. But yeah, I mean, I see them, sort of doing that, so. Rain first says, alright, I'm going to sleep. Have a good night. Have a good one. Take care. Or have a good one, sorry. Take care, Rain. Dave Langer says to Pete, they said that they'll keep updating it if people keep playing it. It could be like Minecraft where it's always updated. The real question is how long before they charge for the updates. They cannot charge for anything, okay, until the game gets to what people's expectations were to begin with. So they've got quite a bit of work to do. They've got to get to a certain point in the game. They've got to add so many features to where literally people cannot place an argument against them, and then they're going to start charging DLC. They have to make money. Also, they have to rebuild their reputation, because I'm sure there's other projects that they want to release, other games they want to get to, and as long as their name is in the gutter, they cannot do that. So all of these updates, yeah, they're there for us and for the fans, and they're adding things and, depending on your point of view, fixing things, right? But it's also for them. They have to do this. They have to turn everything around to survive as a company, to release more stuff. But they're going to continue to support and work on the game. There's no doubt about that. But DLC is going to happen. It's just a question of when, but it's going to happen. Once they get the game to a robust version of closer to the vision that what we saw in E3 and what they really wanted out of the game, they're going to start charging DLC. But it's going to be minor stuff, I would guess, like custom colors or patterns for your ship or skins or something like that, like certain items, 99 cents here, $1 here. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy like a lot of these other games. So that's my guess. But yeah, DLC, I mean, they have to make money. They're going to run out of money. They're paying all these employees, they're paying overtime, they're paying bills, they're keeping the lights on. What are they selling? They got a new office. What are they selling? Sean Murray's just shitting money on Hello Games, you know what I mean? Pete says, I'd happily pay for more. At this point, me too. I think that what we have right now, the game we have right now, feels very much like a AAA title, and I would spend additional money on this game. $60 isn't a lot of money for a game of this scale that gets updated frequently. I'm okay with it, you know? Elite Dangerous does it. They pay for, you gotta pay for expansions. You gotta, you know, I mean, it's, every game does it. It's just a question of how they do it. NickUp79 says, hello, what up, what up, what up? Looks like Hidden's already got to that. Windows in your freighter would be nice. Yeah. Somewhere else but the front, right? You feel trapped in the fucking thing. Especially like when you're sort of customizing your freighter base and your farm and stuff, it'd be really cool to have windows in your backdrop. Like looking out at the planet in the background, or, you know, while you're picking your geck nip, you know, because you're a drug dealer. You can like look out and see the planet off in the distance and stuff like that. It would add to things, no doubt, you know. Like Sean Murray himself said, you know, a lot is possible with No Man's Sky. We just got to get there. Plus, our freighters are so big. Like, if you guys see my freighter, the thing's the size of an Imperial Star Destroyer. My ship is, like, minuscule compared to my freighter. So, like, our freighters, there's a lot more that we could do there. They're like little cities on their own, right? I mean, they're basically small cities themselves. So, we've got to, you know, we've got to make it happen. We've got to plead and beg these guys. I like these three-piece outposts like this. Pete says, would you pay for access to planets that have been designed by a player? Ships, multi-tools, probably favorites. No. No. I'm not going to pay to access planets. Nothing like that. Little things. As Cobra would say, carpets. Right? That's it. Like this ship. If I want a custom emblem, or I want a custom skin, or camo design, or some shit, I'll pay for it. Stuff like that. Under, you know, just real sort of, superficial stuff. But I don't want to pay to access planets or certain things like that. That would just be too much, I feel like. Can you go back? Dave Langer says the best way to make money would be to release it on Xbox One. Very good point. I've not really considered that. That would make a huge difference, right? No. Yeah, that's a very good idea. Like, my friend Adam really wants the game. He's almost considering buying a PlayStation 4 just to get it. My brother really wants the game. Both of them have Xbox Ones. They would totally buy the game if it were on Xbox. They're literally considering buying another console just to play it. So yeah, that's a great way. I never thought of that, so it's awesome. Release on an Xbox, and Hidden seems to agree with you. So unanimous democracy, love it. Obi-Wan says, if you could see one big change, it would be warp fuel cells. Now that there are missions going to other systems, the warp drive should only use plutonium. Yes, or HiddenJewAgenda came up with this a long time ago. You should just be able to buy them. If you get to a certain level in the game where you've got millions of units, you've got a farm, you're making money scanning or something like that, you should just be able to go to a space station and buy fucking gas, right? Plain and simple. Whether it's for your ship for launch thrusters, whether, you know, it's for pulse drive or warp, you should just be able to go to a space station and buy gas. Why not? But your idea is good also. Dave Langer says, yes, I do. I see a lot of Xbox players wish they could play the game on DM21 NMS mixer streams. Dude, Bicycle Walrus. Love that guy. Hidden says, I would pay for more as well. I don't mind helping Hello Games. I don't either. I think what they've done is good. They've done plenty. They've done the impossible. As much as people wanted the game to die, as much as people wanted Hello Games to die, as much avarice and hate was out there for Hello Games and No Man's Sky, they've turned it around. There's not a lot of companies out there, especially indie companies, that would have survived this. But they didn't just survive it, they're thriving. They've got a popular, positively reviewed game right now. I mean, I'm starting to see the game appear in stores that for a while weren't even carrying it and were unable to sell it. I'm seeing it at Walmart, I'm seeing it at all kinds of different places where before I didn't even, you know, after the game released, it was like toxic, like no one wanted to carry it. You know, once people got rid of their inventory, they just, you know, they were taking returns on it, it was bad, you know? So, you know, they've done the impossible. Obi-Wan says, one of Hello Games' staff left for Star Citizen. You know what I say? Good for him. Fuck him. He can go. Traitor. Now, Star Citizen, in all honesty, full disclosure, Star Citizen's going to be a really cool game. I'm really excited to see what they bring to the table. You know, if I could just go drop $3,000 on a badass computer to play Star Citizen, I would. You know, that game just, it looks like it's going to be gnarly, period. I'm really excited to see what they do. So, it's, they're trying to do what No Man's Sky has already done, but just much higher fidelity, much more realism. And neither one of them are bad games, right? I mean, they're all totally different in approach and execution. They're all really good independently at what they do. Elite is very good at what it does, No Man's Sky is very good at what it does, and Star Citizen is going to be very good at what it does. You know? So. Dave Langer says, they also hired that guy who does procedural cities. Yes. We need that. Period. We need that. There should be like a Coruscant-like planet. That'd be really cool. Like one capital planet in every galaxy, in each galaxy, iteration of a galaxy. There should be one capital, like, home world, where all the federations and stuff, like it's the one big city, you know. That'd be pretty cool, I feel like. Pete says, freighter gameplay feature set needs an overhaul. It does. Obi-Wan says, Elite Dangerous is going downhill. I was a fanboy for 2 years of Elite. Now the whole community is pissed at developers. Yeah, I still feel like it's a good game, but I don't really play it enough to really have my fingers in Elite Dangerous. So, Hidden, he streams it from time to time, and he definitely plays it a lot more than I do, so he would have more to say about that, for sure. Dave Langer says, if No Man's Sky ever does microtransactions, it should only be for cosmetic stuff you can also get with in-game currency. I agree. Like, just little things. I don't want a pay-to-win system. I don't want, you know, I don't want loot boxes. Just little items and special edition stuff and shit like that, you know? Just little things. Because if you have enough thousands of people that are making these little micro purchases, it's just enough to keep funding the game enough to keep it going while they work on the next thing that they can sell, you know? Pete says, what about emblem stuff for your ship? You can, yes. I would spend, you can buy it with in-game credits, or if you don't have enough, you can get it with your, you get what I'm saying, real money, right? So, Dave Langer says, this is why they need like a World of Warcraft, like real player auction house where players can put things up. Yes, so they don't have to grind. So yes, absolutely. There's a lot of player-created content out there, like bases and things like that, like farms and shit that, like, those players should be able to make money off other players with that somehow. I think that should be a thing, regardless. I think we should also be able to trade amongst each other as well. Dave Langer says fuel cells and someone like Panda could buy them. Yes. I want to buy fuel cells. I need to buy fuel cells. It's gotta happen. I need it.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Yeah, what are these little stories of these crash freighters about what they're drinking? Where like they drank something and a bunch of bad shit happened. Like, it all sounds so cryptic.
Radiation protection. Stabilizing.
I'd be into that, says Pete. That ship is way dope. Good find. Are you talking about the ship that I have right now that I'm flying in? Yep, this is my shuttle. All of my ships are A class. I need to start getting on that S class exotic game for sure. I did a stream way early on in the you know, some of the first videos of this channel where I had found like a new hauler ship, which I still have. But somebody commented that it was the ugliest ship that they'd ever seen, and it was so ugly that it offended them. And I don't think I've ever used it in a stream since. I've got like fucking PTSD from that comment, dude. Fuck me up bad. I cried. I didn't cry. But I took it pretty personal. Dual Universe is the dark horse. Yeah. If people out there that are watching this don't know what Dual Universe is, look that shit up right now. Yeah. Dave Langer says, like for microtransactions, make it 99 cents to paint your ship, or 100 nanites or something like that. 100% agree with you. 99 cents to paint your ship, all day. I paint every fucking ship I got. I want to paint my freighter. Guys, so when I first bought my freighter, I don't know if you guys saw it earlier, but when I first bought it, my freighter was black and red. Shit looked demonic, looked crazy, looked awesome. And then after 1.3, I go look at my freighter, it's pink and green. It looks like I'm flying a cut-in-half watermelon. So sad. So sad. Just really upsets me, guys. I want to paint my freighter so fucking bad. Pete says, my buddy has a rig like that plays Star Citizen really well, and he invested early. It is a real cool model for selling a game. Yeah. I almost think that No Man's Sky should have employed the same method. And you know, I blame Sony mostly for what happened with the release, because the game should have came out as an early access title or something like that, you know. It definitely was not AAA when it came out. I still liked it, but I had to pay $30 for it, and then when the game was official, I had to pay another $30, you know, to play the full version of it. But it should have came out as like an early access or some shit like that. But now, I mean, I don't really care now, because a year later the game feels fucking AAA to me. You know what I mean? Hayden says, "Why are people mad at Elite?" See, I thought you would have information on that, Hidden, because you play that game a whole shitload more than I do. Elite's pretty cool, man. They've been making news lately. Like, I've been hearing about like this rescue mission that these fuel rats did, where somebody got stuck in the space between the galaxies and ran out of fuel. The fuel rats had to go like save them, and it was an interesting story. I mean, you know, situations like that could not occur in No Man's Sky, right? So it's just interesting to see that, you know, that sort of level of realism take place. You know, it's pretty neat. Obi-Wan says, I wish we could salvage crash freighters and use them. Yep. I also wish that if you already have a freighter that you like mine's a 30-slot freighter and I really like it, and I like the way it looks besides the color, I should be able to add a warp reactor to it, but I can't. I have to swap it for another one. And I hate doing that, especially like when I put time into like building and editing something and getting it to like where I want and getting all my inventory in it, to then have to switch that up just to, I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. You should be able to add any technology to any ship you have. Dave Langer says they are drinking the blood of the travelers. I want to drink the blood of the travelers. Pete says, yep. CJ Holland says, go Titans. You better be talking about Texas Titans. Hayden says, CJ, flying watermelon is so much more rebellion than an imperial demonic structure. I guess. Yes, cool. Pete says, I always like the shuttles. Sore spot for the cheap ships that I spend a lot of time on Go Buy Flashy Hot Ride. I like the fighters. I like fighters and explorer ships. I think those are the coolest looking ones. Obi-Wan says, once again, shipyards would be amazing. I want to slap a Gek so bad. I know, I forgot that I had it sitting on that, like, moment where the Gek is just, like, making that noise, and then I started to hear it in my headset, and I wanted to just, like, fucking swan dive into my TV. So, like, I backed out of it. I actually switched freighters one time just so that my pilot could be a Korvax instead of a Gek, because the fucking Korvax sound is more... Like, I would rather listen to that fucking shit, excuse my language, than the Gek. Oh, hazmat gauntlets. Cool, I already have those. What else is next? Strangest game I've ever seen. CJ Holland. So CJ, are you new to No Man's Sky? Or are you just making like a generalized observation about the game? Not really sure. Go with honor, but the Sentinels will be upon the facility.
Navigational data received.
Do I have enough plutonium? No. So let's get that sorted before I try to take off. CJ Holland says never played. Never played No Man's Sky? Bro, you gotta give it a shot. What are you talking about? It's cool as hell. Strange planet, infinite universe, freighters, multiple ships, base building, exocraft. You can explore mountainous planets, forest planets, ice planets, oceans, all kinds of shit, man. You should give it a shot. Dave says, if you like chill space exploration games, No Man's Sky may be the game for you. Yes. And I would actually refrain from calling it a game. It's more of an experience, I feel like. It's a chill exploration science fiction experience. Because games would imply that there's a structure of things to do and objectives, and that's not necessarily the case with this game. I mean, there's an element of that, but but not really. Pete says, if you slapped a Gek, I'd hope you'd tell me how the skin felt. Like a reptile or an amphibian. Gek noises are pretty brutal. They need a mute button on their beaks. I would say they probably feel like amphibians. And yeah, that noise is pretty fucking terrifying. It hurts the soul. Tone says, sup, dude? Dave Langer says, it's an experience. Yes, I concur. Hidden says, it's a lifestyle. No Man's Sky is a lifestyle. And, CJ, we have the coolest, best community in gaming. So, we have a very warm and welcoming community. There's a lot of hubs and federations and guilds and things to involve yourself in, and really cool people to hang out with in the game, stuff to do. So we're all proud to be part of the No Man's Sky community, and the people that helped to build it should be proud as well. Dave Langer says, it's even more terrifying if you catch them gekking off. Wow. I totally just jetpacked down that wall.
Radiation protection stabilizing.
Pete says Geks don't have souls. Dave Langer says it's best to just walk away. Oh, I guess you mean from like the Sentinels or the Geks? Because I was just murdering Sentinels. Hidden says, shout out to my No Man's Sky family. Fuck yeah. Dude, the way it all went down for me is like I played the game and the people were like hating on it online, and I was like, I fucking like it, fuck 'em. And I kept playing, and then I came across Just Jared video where he was going to the Galactic Hub, and I was like, that guy's cool, I'll sub. And then I came across Boondock's video where he also was going to the hub, and I was like, he's pretty cool too, so I'll sub. And then I discovered Cobra, and I was like, this is cool, so I subbed. And then I got on the subcast, and then I started talking with everybody, and then that's how me and Hidden linked up, and then we just started meeting other people from the community, and Mac Foraday, and everybody else, and literally every single person I run into that's in this fucking community just has been legit as shit and cool as hell. And I've never had the desire for any other game to just to be intimately involved in any capacity, you know, with the community. So this has all been very cool for me. It's a great time to play No Man's Sky, and it's a great time to be part of the No Man's Sky community. There literally has been no better time than right now. Dave Langer says the Geks, when they are gekking off, best to just give them their privacy. Yeah. And make sure you wrap your furniture in plastic if they're guests at your place. when I get back to the base, guys, and talk to that Gek, I'm probably going to go ahead and end the stream. It just occurred to me how long I've been streaming. And, Mrs. Panda's going to want her cuddle bear. So, just saying. Thanks for joining, guys. So, yeah, as soon as I get back to the base, I'm gonna talk to the Gek, complete this mission, save it, and then I'm gonna be ending the stream. So, Pete says, I'm on my third playthrough and I've just started streaming it. I'm on my way to the hub to see my fellow travelers. Well, on your way to the hub, Pete, you should stop by the old hub, the old Legacy Galactic hub, because that's where my base is. You should stop by and say hey to me, and then continue on your way to the new Galactic hub. This is I'm in a system that was discovered by Andy Krychek toward the top of the hub tree, the Christmas tree as they referred to it, and it was this hub was discovered during the heyday of the Galactic Hub project and everything else, and all the things that have transpired. And there's a strong sentimental feeling here, and there's, you know, it's really cool to just look at some of the planets and stuff. I mean, they're all different than they were when the hub was set up, but just for sentimental sake, I would say stop by and just take a gander at what used to be. Dave Langer says, for cuddle panda, you mean? Yeah, exactly. Pete says, old hub? Yeah, so the hub moved. After update 1.3, the hub essentially moved. The reason why they moved was because all the planets that they were based on drastically became different. And they picked those planets for a reason, so people were sort of moving around and shuffling, so everybody just decided to do sort of an exodus and travel to another region to start the Galactic Hub in that region. So if you're in the Euclid galaxy where I'm at, which is the galaxy you start off in, obviously, the old Galactic Hub is where I currently reside, and the new Galactic Hub isn't too far away, so you can see all the different discoveries for different people that were part of the hub and stuff that they've made here in the area. There's a lot of discoveries and things like that. It's just kind of cool. I mean, in my opinion, you don't have to.
Radiation protection stabilizing.
Pete says, I'll say hello for sure. That's what's up, dude. Earlier in the stream, I showed my portal coordinates, so if you just want to portal in and drop a comball, you can do that too. That way you're not making like a fucking crazy detour. Hidden says, thank you everyone for joining. If you haven't already, sub and like the video. See you all again in the next stream. Yes, please do. Please support the channel. We really enjoy doing this. We've seen a lot of growth recently with the channel, and we just really appreciate the support, so it means a lot to us, and makes my heart big, so. Dave Langer says, have a good night, great stream. We should all enjoy our Atlas passes tomorrow, please. Dude, I'm telling you, if we get Atlas passes tomorrow, I'm shitting myself. I promise. That would be crazy. Broker Neiman needs to shut his damn mouth. I agree. Hidden says, let's hope, Dave. K5RTO says, I was lurking. Good stream, man. Appreciate it, dude. I feel like I ramble a lot. Like I said, I feel like Hidden is a better streamer. But I try, and I feel like I'm getting better at it every time I go, so really appreciate you guys stopping in. Thanks for keeping the comments busy, because that just kind of helps me stay motivated to talk and discuss things, so it helps me more than you realize to keep the chat lit up. So otherwise I'd just be like blindly flying around not talking to anybody, so I appreciate that. Dave Langer says, Cult. Oh, sorry. Hidden says, thank you, K5. And Pete says, I've loosely followed the hub hoopla on the No Man's Sky subreddit. I think I'm ready to see all the good folks. Definitely check it out, man. It's worth it. You'll get to see people's bases and farms, and there's a lot of cool shit going on out there, man. So it's worth it. It took me forever to get out here, but once I did, I was like, it's pretty dope. So Pete says night, man, and yep. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here, guys. Thanks again for joining. I really appreciate it. I dropped my controller, goddammit. But yeah, man, appreciate you guys joining the stream. As always, you know, give a cute Color Panda Bear some love by clicking that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys later on in the No Man's Sky universe. It's been cool, guys. So Panda is out.